What are you doing? Huh? Are you dancing to romance, or are you dancing because you feel threatened? Come on. Come on, we're going to the garden. Are you going to come help me? Hey, that's not helping me in the garden. That's acting a little froggy. I don't know if it's the weather, or is your girl living on the nest box? Is that what you're... Oh, yes. He's wanting you to stay away from her. I see your egg there, Missy. I see your egg. That's the cat, where the cat's supposed to sleep. She's like, I don't care. I don't care. That's where I'm going to lay. All right. Add this in somewhere. Hey, y'all. Here's just a wee video. I've been out in the garden. Got most of the fencing up, as you can tell. I'm going to try to finish getting it up. It's supposed to be cloudy. No rain, no sun today, but instead it's cloudy with rain and sun. So, but I was just heading in to get refill my drink. I've got my big 1 liter turbos insulated thermos there. It's for wine. I'm sorry, Dr. Pepper's my wine. Had to take my hat off because, man, hats are hot. But look, so there's Nomad. She won't let me touch her, but she has adopted us. I haven't noticed her in the past few summers as being pregnant. And I haven't seen her have any kittens, and this is her 2nd summer here, so maybe she can't. Maybe there's something wrong with her and she can't have babies. That would be awesome. One less I have to catch. But over here they've been decimated. They've got them quite a little. Well, you can see where it rained, this morning and last night, the dampness. But you can see they're down to the dry stuff. And something made noise, and they both popped their head up, but of course they didn't move their bodies. Oops, I'm sorry. So I'm going in to get another soda, and what else was I going in to get? So I'm just gonna refill my drink, and I don't know. So anyway, you can see I got the rest of the fence up. We'll take a peek at it. I made another little video, but I don't think I'm happy with it. So I've had to cut about a little over a foot, about 18 inches off, I guess. So the fence is only going to be a little over 3 feet, about 3 feet 2 inches. I didn't want it super tall because I didn't want it to be too much shade and flopping over, and I only had these T-posts, so. But I want to be able to, if I have to step over it real quick, be able to without hurting myself. High centering. So instead of doing one constant wrapping, I measured the length I needed. I know exactly 8 little squares is the height I need to take off. And so I made one straight run from there to here. Overlapped it. And I've made this one to here, right here. They have, this one's not in super tight yet, but there's landscape spikes right here. That one I'm gonna have to hammer in, my shoe won't fit. So right here, there's the top, that goes into the septic. So this whole square here in front of me is going to be just nothing. I think I'll just set potted plants out here to disguise it. So the next run of fence is gonna start here and go around there and come this way. Now out here, outside, I stopped at each corner because I didn't want to cut the bottom, because I'll have to snip the bottom to make a curve if I don't just do it in sections. But inside the garden, I'm not so worried about it. Nothing's really going to be able to dig under that. And I think I can stabilize it with enough stakes, and then I'll just come on around back this way. So I've got some weeding to do, not a ton, but some. I brought the shovel out. I just want the sun to stop. So this crazy little lone onion, or whatever it is, it's growing underneath the weed mat. I don't know if it's onion, if it's garlic. we'll wait and see what the top looks like. So the tomatoes are doing okay. You can see where those little damn cats have been getting in here and digging. I had to pinch off a bottom branch of one of my tomato plants because I think it got peed on. It looked like it was burned. That's the only couple onions surviving in there thanks to those cats. But so I don't know. So I'm going to fill this section, which is 8 feet wide by, to where I'm at, probably 12 feet long. And then that's going to be 8 by 12. That's going to be all green beans. And then I'm going to plant the Mississippi pink-eyed purple hull peas. Pink-eyed purple hull field peas are going to go all through that middle area, and probably all through that middle area, which is about 4 feet. Make 2 rows there, and then I'll make a 3rd row here, and I'm going to put pumpkin out here, and then I will move these. I'm going to space out these tomato plants, one at this corner, one in the middle, one there, so that they have plenty of area to grow. And they'll be right at the edge of the mat, the weed mat. And so on the other side of that fence, I'm going to hang my little flags, and then I'm going to grow some flowers probably along this back side. Yeah, because that's not a direction, that's the northeast, but that's not a direction that I have to worry about the sun shading, something tall there shading the garden at all. But from here on this side, I would. So once I get those moved over, I've got cucumbers there. I might just leave this broad aisle between those cucumbers and those bags once I get that cleaned out and then scoot it over. But I think I've got 3 of the potato bags and 4 more of those bags. So I think I'm going to fill a couple of them with peppers. And let's see, I brought a bunch of my seeds out. I think this is the pack I was using, or is this the pack I was saving? I don't know. When I go in a minute to get another drink, no, I think this is the one I want to use. But so anyhow, and the wire I bought that I never used on the chicken yard fence, I might use to string a really taut wire out of the very top hole of all those T-posts, just to give the fence a little support for any kind of cats or something that wanted to jump up it. But that's something I don't have to do immediately. So today, I'm going to, regardless of how hot I get or whatever, I can't keep being a baby. I mean, yes, this menopause is kicking my ass. And I didn't expect this, you know. I kind of thought I was already through it because I had the hysterectomy 8 years ago. But they left my ovaries, so. Anyway, I'm going to see my gynecologist here in a couple months. And I have noticed that, besides Paul noticing my hair is thinning a little bit, I've stopped growing leg hair and armpit hair. I know that sounds gross, but any of you ladies watching this, typically that's not what happens as you get older. I was one of those girls who every other day, I could not go any more than every other day. I had to shave. Otherwise, I couldn't stand to touch my legs together. You know, they would just, my hair grew so fast. And now, I didn't experiment. I didn't shave for 2 weeks, and you couldn't tell I hadn't shaved unless you got right up close to my legs and there were a few long hairs and everything else was very pale and stubbly. I personally, just from looking into it and talking to a few people who's also had this issue, I think my testosterone has dropped too low. And that's part of my fatigue and my tiredness and my poor sleep and some also to deal with weight and musculature. I think I get all the signs of somebody who's hormone, you know. Yeah, you expect your estrogen and your progesterone to be crazy when you go through menopause. But typically as they fade out, some things about, your test will be more evident because of the testosterone levels are going to seem higher, which is going to be leg hairs, that kind of stuff. But anyway, enough about health crap. So I'm going to go get something to refresh add another soda to my drink. Maybe have a couple hard-boiled eggs. Call it a break, and then get out here and get this finished. It's not like I don't have enough trouble, with getting all squirrely and distracted, especially since I don't take ADD medicine anymore. But got these cats chasing birds and little chickens behind me talking to me. And it looks like somebody, Miss Nomad. Is this Nomad or Chaos? This is little Miss Nomad. She's left her spot over there. I guess maybe Chaos has hired her. Maybe did Chaos hire you to keep an eye out on the chickens while he's sleeping during the day and he got night duty? Y'all tag teaming it? He doesn't fight with her. He doesn't run her off anymore. So maybe. Yeah, she's like, oh, human, you're bugging me. So, but yeah, that's got her about, that's right there. She was right there in the middle of the screen. So she's coming closer where I'm at. She keeps an eye on me, so maybe she's just kind of like part-time security. That's okay. I love her. Anyway, God knows I don't need any more cats. We are not adopting anymore. We're not bringing any more into our house. But you all know it's my goal to get friendly enough with these guys that I can start catching and trapping them and get them all spayed and neutered and re-released. All right, 10 minutes of me gabbing. Miss Cece. She is worrying me a little bit because she is become immobile. Today her food bowl, I moved her red food bowl away, which has got a little bit of regular, commercial feed and stuff like that. So the only bowl that she can get to right now has a little bit of chopped up scrambled egg, chopped kale, some blueberries. She's got some flaxseed crushed and mixed with it, and she's right there by her water. But she was out in the morning for several hours and she did not leave a spot. Didn't go near her food, didn't go near her water. We were getting sporadic showers because I knew she didn't seem to be able to get up and stand. Every time I stand her up, she falls back on her chest. I didn't want to miss it and her get soaked out here and not be able to get up. Maybe I need to leave her out here and let a rain shower might get her butt up moving. But so I put her water back in there near her, and she just started drinking like she was super thirsty. So she's obviously become less mobile than she was when she got here. So I pick her up about, I don't know, every 30 minutes if I'm out here, and I carry her around, and she's small enough I can just hold onto her chest and put her chest and belly rest in my hand, and she kicks her feet and she flaps her wings and she complains about it, but that's exercise. She's kicking those legs and moving those wings. She's getting some exercise. So, and I'm gonna have to ask a few groups maybe, how else do you exercise a rescue Cornish cross? I can understand if you get them as chicks or it's very young and it's not overly heavy yet, and its whole life it has to exercise and all that kind of stuff. And when I put her green dish in tonight, she's gonna have to stand up to get her food. But part of me is like, I can't be unfair and make it so she has to stand up to get her food if she physically cannot. So I take her out and I set her in the yard and I pick her up and I carry her with me, which makes her a little nervous, but she's looking around and the whole time she's pedaling her little legs. And I figure that's still exercise. So all right, everybody else is over here dust bathing in the pavilion. Little Missy's still in there on her eggs. Can't really see her fuzzy butt under there a little bit. Everyone else is in the shade of the pavilion right now. So I know it's probably getting close to 1 because it's starting to shade up over here. And believe it or not, all this rain, I still had to give them all fresh water, which of course I always do because just so much falls from the tree and the sap from the Norwegian spruce. I saw a channel that I sometimes watch. I can't be subscribed to them anymore because they just, I don't know, there's some moral and some ethical issues I have with them. But every now and then I'll catch one of their videos, they had bought some little miniature Norwegian spruces and we're talking about where they were going to put them. And I was like, do they really, they see them in mountains, do they really know how big it's going to get? Yeah. And how much, look, spider stuff likes to make little homes in it, in that little fuzzy. Ugh. That's why I had to trim them off. Once I feel them touch my head, then I'm total heebie-jeebied out. All right, so I'm gonna go get a refill. I should take that in there with me. Get a refill, have a snack. Oh, and there's Charlie. Hi, Charlie. He's getting more friendly too. I find tuxedos are very, very friendly cats, typically. All right, y'all, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, y'all, Kate's Garden Chicken Cat Rambles. And as I hit play, the fire siren's going off. Any fire call, any call of any sort, they send off the siren. Someone's fallen, they can't get up, they set off the siren. So, I'm adding it. I just want to say now that this video is probably going to have some little choppy spots because I'm adding different little pieces together from my day. So, the fence is all up around the garden, all but my little gate area. And haven't been quite sure what I wanted to do. What I really need, ooh, an ant bite. What I really need to do is get some more T-posts. And I like that height, it's workable. But I think I might get just like 10 taller ones so that if I need to, I can use some of these strips here where I've had to cut off about 1.5 foot, and I can make just an upper ring and just attach to those few posts. But I have a feeling that I'm probably not going to need to. I just have to decide what I want to do for my little gate. And what I'm thinking is I have a T-post back there, right back there, that I'm not using for the fence. I put it there because I thought I would, but I'm not. So I'm thinking I might, is it my last one? No, I got another one. So anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to grab a T-post and I might put one right there in the middle of where my little gate area is. And like the right half of that will be between, I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, the other post is right there behind the, just beside the green stalk. So I think maybe if I put a post in the middle and extend the gate, but then I'm going to cut the top so that all I have to do is unhook like 1/4 of that area and just the top. And it can pivot off that center, off the T-post I'm going to add, and that way I can just step over. It can be a continuous thing across the bottom, and then I just have a spot where I can open up, one little square corner, step through, and hook it back. So that's what I'm going to do. The sun's still out. It's probably about 2 o'clock now, getting close to 2, so I'm going to call it for the evening. At least for now. If the breeze picks up and this shade finally reaches the garden, I might come out this evening and tinker a bit, but or I just won't push it and I'll just do it early in the morning. I think that's when I'm going to come through it tomorrow morning and get it done for sure if I don't do it tonight, and get some other seeds and things I have in the ground. And I think it's going to work out. So a lot of this grass you see between the tomatoes and the little fence, a lot of that's loose. That was a Flowers station. That was her area to be working and scratching up the weeds. And she's done some, but today they have both been just slack ass, no help. So in whole, the garden is, if we were counting this corner, the garden would be 16, it would be about 16 feet deep this way, 16 feet that way. No, probably about 10. No, that's not right. It's something odd, but I know it's over, it's 20, it's at least 20 feet this way, if not longer. And so that's probably 6, 12, probably 18 feet at its depth from right here all the way to there, and the 18 feet from there to there, and then 20 feet from end to end, so 18 by 20. You know, give or take a few inches or a foot, and we are cutting out this corner, which is, you know, an 8 by, really probably about an 8 by 10 spot right there that we're cutting out of it. So, but that I can set flower pots. I can, you know, I may put another timber across where those steel plates are, just to the right of that flag you see in the middle. That's where the top of the septic is, and I have a board over it, which just almost perfectly covered it. Just wasn't quite. It covered it from lengthwise, but it wasn't quite wide enough, and so I used the big round steel cover things to balance out the weight and make sure there's no way I could accidentally step between the board and the side and break an ankle. So yeah, and I'll put stuff around it. I have a table that I haven't used for a while. It's a glass top table. I've thought about bringing it out and setting it there just over it. It's not very level, but I could level the table. That way there's absolutely no chance of me walking into it, and then I can use the table also to set things on or set things under. I can even, you know, chickens might like setting, well, I don't want them setting on top of those, but yeah. So I might just put this pallet behind me. I've talked about it. I know y'all don't care. It needs to be probably cut in pieces because it's one of those 5 feet by 10 feet ones. So I might just be able to cut just enough of it to go over there, and I can shim it up so it's level to go just to go over that. Doesn't matter. And then I can just shim up the table and make it level. And then the table also has a spot in it for an umbrella, so I could put it over that and put an umbrella and have a little spot out by the garden where I could set at a table under the umbrella. The chickens could be out there, just outside the garden, but at the garden. And I'm thinking about that, but I need to get a new umbrella. And I want a stout one that I don't have to worry, that if I close it, I don't have to worry about taking it down. Oh, looks like Amazon's here again. Yeah, Amazon. So, all right, we'll catch back up when some more's been done. Thanks, y'all. Bye.